Hey, welcome back, or hello for the first time. I have not been making any videos at all lately. A lot of things have happened besides the coronavirus quarantines and shelter in place. And in Texas, they've relaxed some of those restrictions, which I think is ridiculous. Um, we didn't even flatten the curve. It looked like it was flat. And then we were like, you know what could make this better if it was not a curve? It just kept trending upward. I think that's what we have to do. And at this point, I'm sure that the state has decided to sacrifice the 0.2% or whatever the small percentage is. So, anyway, I hope that none of my friends or family or it's really, I don't want anyone, even if I don't know them or don't like them or or they're mean or they're stupid. I still don't think devaluing human life is what we're supposed to do here. Anyway, and then we found out, even though it had happened the before this quarantine, we found out that there were killings of unarmed black men and women, and I can't even really explain how I was feeling. Like, I really couldn't process much. It was really hard to do things. I got work done, but most of the time I just tried to find ways to keep moving. I stayed informed. I was very vocal. I'm very much in support of Black Lives Matter. Um, I'm no longer into explaining that saying Black Lives Matter doesn't mean your lives don't at all. It means that we haven't mattered for more than 3 to 4 centuries. We haven't been important, and it was built into the American system that we continue to not move forward, to continue not to progress. And, decade by decade, we broke that down as a people. And now here we are, still worrying about the same things. Can my son go outside and play? Um, can I trust my friends that I've had for a long time? Can I send them somewhere with him? And if he gets in trouble, will they defend him? Will they help him? Will they watch him die? Will they be just as helpless as I am? Well, I mean, what? it's it's really hard. It's really hard to think of that, and we've been knowing about this as a Black community for years, and it's just recently um, coming to light for some people because of cell phones. And now I'm really thankful that we have that, because without it, there's no way we would have proven that this is a systematic problem. It's built into the system that police brutality against unarmed Black people go get swept under the rug. So that was basically how everything was going the last month. And so I didn't make any videos. I usually made them once a week or twice a week. And I was not in a safe headspace where I could talk about it without breaking down. I did cry a lot of times, but what is going on up there? Anyway, um, so as I had created this channel to give updates, I have great updates. We finished our I Colori dell'Opera finished our virtual workshops, and I'm really happy that they came out the way that they did. I'm super thankful for the teachers that pioneered that program for me, and hopefully next year we'll have our Houston Vocal Institute and Summer Opera Scenes program. That's not the right name. I just frazzled. Um, Houston Vocal something. I don't remember. Gosh, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I made it up and I have to look it up. Anyway, um, but hopefully, what I want is to find the right grants so that we can offer that to students, the target students, the operatic beginners, the students that maybe come from a school that is underfunded in fine arts and that have an interest in opera and stage performance and even working behind the scenes at for an opera company, to get that starting training so that they can enter the field and make music part of their life or become the next patrons. But I want to offer that for free because there's a lot of students that may be interested that really just don't have the means to, that financial means to do it. And I know that sounds like I'm just catering to um, economically disadvantaged students, and I am to a degree, but I'm also catering to the students that were like me, where my parents did. Um, we were pretty well off, but the financial stress of studying music and doing everything that you would need to do, we weren't prepared for that. And I'm still, I'm still struggling with it, and I finally can do it, but it it took me a long time to be able to do that. And at this point, I've aged out of all of the young artist programs already now that I'm able to afford it. So I don't want that to happen to anybody else. I do feel like I am having a successful career in the opera community in the music world. I'm really proud of my progress, and I do plan to continue. But I just want to make sure that that man or that woman or um, whoever they are um, has the opportunity and with and has that space to get the training that they need in order to compete with people who do have the financial ability to do it. One of my wildest dreams that I thought about this past month for Icolori dell'Opera is having an international program, just like some of the universities and conservatories where they teach their full length opera and coachings and diction, and they just pick a country and they go and they spend 3 to 6 weeks there and they provide lodgings and stuff like that. And I think it would be amazing if we could offer that free of charge, on an audition and scholarship basis. Um, and I think that's really hard to do. And at first, we might have to have a scholarship and say, you pick the program and we fundraise the money for you to go. And I think that's how we'll start. And then eventually, maybe in 10 years, maybe less, maybe more, we can have I Colori dell'Opera in Italy or France or Spain. I like Spain. Okay, so, we'll just pick a place and we'll come up with that. I think that would be something that's useful to the community. And I also think that we will have more opportunities to perform new works or perform lesser performed works. I found a few operas that very few people have heard of. They might have heard it mentioned, but they might have not seen it performed. I found a few online and I ordered them, and I cannot wait to start practicing them. So, one of them I will be collaborating with an accompanist, and it's just a one woman opera. And I won't tell you too much about it, but basically, I need to bake a cake on stage, so I actually need to practice my baking, which is perfect because I've been stress baking for the past week and a half. Anyway, just oh, this is my mic. Just some words of encouragement. If you are feeling depressed as a person of color due to the events, plus the quarantine, plus the fact that we can't really get through this by being near our friends and sometimes our family, you're not alone. Contact somebody, make an appointment, make a weekly spa date with your bestie on Zoom, or on Messenger or something. Um, and then the other thing is, don't try to hold your feelings in. Write them down, talk them out with somebody. That has been probably the most important thing. And I was definitely skeptical about. Oh, it's not a light. Light, come back. There we go. I was definitely skeptical. I can't spell right. I was definitely skeptical about talking about my feelings with people, and really it was because I never felt like I could trust people with my feelings without it coming back um, to bite me in the butt. So definitely do that. Yeah, so if you're an ally and you're feeling exhausted and exasperated with trying to explain that Black Lives Matter does not mean that everyone else doesn't, or trying to explain the historical significance of us even using that phrase, or just trying to get people to get it through their heads that we actually do need to change. Um, Same to you. Find friends, find a support group, and keep doing that work, because it's not going to change unless everybody works together. And that's why it's so important that that we have allies and that we have people like you. If you're grappling with the fact that you are not as tolerant as you thought you were, keep learning. Just keep learning. The best thing about this country is the fact that we do have access to an education, and there's no reason for people to be racist anymore in this society. It's actually not beneficial to anybody. It keeps progress from happening. It keeps us from moving forward and functioning together as the leader of the free world, and that's not what we are anymore. um, I would also suggest looking at how other countries are reporting on us, because, yeah, they're going to have a bias, but at the same time, they're going to be biased against us because of racism, because of systemic racism, and because of how our country seems to be working against their own people. Anyway, that's educate yourself, read books, read the suggestions, okay? Understand, just open your minds. And if you've decided that you're going to remain racist, then your time is coming to an end. There's soon not going to be that, because the goal of this generation is to make sure that we do not continue systemic racism for the next generation. I'm determined that my son not have to fight this battle. I'm determined that I am a part of the last generation that will have to fight against systemic racism. We will fix this. And if you're not on our side, you're going to be left behind in the dust. So that's all I have to say. Best wishes to everybody, and I'll see you when I see you.